Hello there. I'm Darren.
And I'm Dougie.
And we're wearing our cosplays. You know what that means? This is the way. We do Mandalorian reviews. So yeah, what an episode. So good. It was amazing just seeing everything all put together. But here, we'll start at the start. I love the puppet for Baby Yoda. I love their commitment to just having a puppet. But you notice right at the start of the episode, the thing obviously can't bend its legs. It's like in a meditative trance or something. It looks like Yoda meditating. It's insanely cute. I love it. But we open up with a nice little throwback to episode 3.
Yeah, literally dancing around the words like, are we gonna say it? Are we not gonna say it?
Here we go. Nice and easy.
Another happy landing.
I fully expect them to say it.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I fully expect them to say it.
I don't know why, because it's such an obscure Star Wars quote, but I was hoping for it.
They clearly knew,
Yeah,
because they mention other things like the reverse thrusters and stuff.
Just to recap, the ship crash lands, it almost makes it in and then falls into the harbour. We're now on this kind of sea planet filled with Mon Calamari and Quarren.
Loved all the Mon Calamari and Quarren on this planet Trask.
So good. But yes, for a minute there I was like, is this Mon Cal? But no. Had to take myself back and was like, no, it's not. It's like mentioned in the last episode.
Yeah, it's a moon orbiting a gas giant, I think.
Awesome. So we were watching and then we see the character from the trailer. Turned to Dougie and was like, do you reckon this is like the Emperor's Hand, Dark Acolytes kind of stuff? Is that what it's alluding to? Sprouting wild conspiracy theories, and then immediately was put down.
Yeah.
No, it's exactly what it says in the tin.
It subverted your expectations then?
It did, in a way that I actually really liked. Yeah, so hang on. They go into the pub and they order Baby Yoda some food. So he walks into this bar filled with Quarrens and Mon Cal and asks for the seafood chowder.
You know which clip to fit in.
I know.
I got you. Nothing for me. A bowl of chowder for my friend.
Well, I guess I'll have the insensitive bitch with a side of you.
Oh yeah, and then this was the thing. I was like, hang on, are they gonna break the trend of Star Wars and make Quarrens really dead on? Because the Quarren comes over and sits beside him and he seems really cool.
You were like, Quarrens are meant to be dicks, so what's going on here? The Quarrens seem nice, and they were chatting away on the ship. And as you said, not even like 200 meters from shore.
Literally, they just got out into open water and must have immediately betrayed him.
Yeah.
Chucked him to whatever's in the was in the water. It's like, okay, no, it's definitive. Quarrens are always dicks.
Yeah. Because for anyone who doesn't know, during the Clone Wars, the Quarren sided with the Separatist Alliance. The Jedi had to come in and help the Mon Cals fight. It was a whole like civil war on their home planet and stuff.
Yeah.
But just like
there's an amazing episode of the 2D Clone Wars on it. So good. Like Kit Fisto and all underwater. Brilliant. You should go check it out.
Another clip for you to put in.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Any excuse to get the 2D Clone Wars in.
It's so nice. It reminds me so much of Samurai Jack. I don't know if it's the same animator or not, but
is
it the same guy?
Genndy Tartakovsky. He did
His
Samurai
stuff's
Jack and
so beautiful. Yeah. It's cinematic. There's long periods of not talking and just movement. All you can hear is the movement, and everything just supports the action. So beautiful. And I actually see a lot of that in The Mandalorian. I was talking about last week about how The Mandalorian is such a good cartoon. It takes all those elements of on-screen kind of like really beautiful shot, like even that shot on the ship before he gets betrayed. It's a really, really nice shot, you know. So as soon as Mando's betrayed, I was thinking he was just gonna like fight his way out of there, be a bit of a badass. But we got an even better wee surprise. I thought they were gonna kind of lead up to introducing Bo-Katan, but no, there she was, bang, Bo-Katan and some other Mandalorians, and it was great. Just to see Bo-Katan from Rebels and Clone Wars live action. It's the same actress, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's Kitty Sackhoff.
Yeah.
She voices Bo-Katan in Clone Wars and Rebels, and she's now playing Bo-Katan.
So badass.
which I suppose when you think about it is a little more annoying for Ashley Eckstein.
Yeah.
Because she voiced Ahsoka the entire way through Clone Wars and Rebels, and now they've cast another actress as Ahsoka for Mandalorian. It's kind of like,
I know.
could you not have, like, come on.
Give her an audition.
Yeah.
Well. I'm still excited to see what they do with Ahsoka. Like, I know she's now the next fetch quest.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing it. Oh, here's another thing as well. So my crazy conspiracy theories debunked again. I was like, something in the Night of Tears has happened, and now Mandalorians all swear this creed thing. No.
Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
No,
It
it's
turns
just
out.
just like different parts of society within Mandalorian culture. Yeah,
Yeah, which again is really cool. It doesn't have to be a big conspiracy theory. It is just exactly what it needed to be. So Bo-Katan takes off her helmet and is like, "Oh, you're one of those. You're part of the Watch." And of course that refers to Death Watch from Clone Wars. So in the first season of Mandalorian, we picked it up where we seen the 3 stripes. It was somewhere on all of the guys that rescued Din as a child. I was like, okay, so he's a member of Death Watch. Because we never seen those symbols again on any of the other Mandalorians in the Coven. So I was like, right, okay. New Mandalorians, they've all band together. It's like, no, actually, there are loads of different Mandalorian
Covens, yeah.
covens. And they all have different, maybe different creeds,
Yeah.
So, yes, so cool. So we now know that Din is a member of Death Watch, whether he knows it or not.
Yeah, like I was just about to say, it seems like he's not even fully aware that there's different creeds and stuff, because as soon as they take off their helmets, also, again, it's just becoming more and more obvious why Pedro Pascal wanted to take his helmet off more, because literally everyone he meets is taking off his helmet. And I still maintain, like as you were saying last week, it's so integral to his character as part of this show that he keeps his helmet on, because that is such a defining trait of his character and his upbringing and his culture. So I completely agree, he should keep it on to make that distinction.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, you can see why him, the actor, would be getting annoyed with everyone else being able to take their helmet off and him not able to.
Yeah. But that was the thing as well, like whenever Bo-Katan was like, these are religious zealots that want to bring back the way of Mandalore, and he's like, there is only one way, the way of the Mandalore. But also, no, I'm not.
This is the way intensifies. Yeah, there's so much there, and it's so well put across, because obviously we know what's going on. We've seen all Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff, so we know all this history, and it makes sense from that perspective. I think if The Mandalorian was your first exposure to Star Wars, you could still follow this story.
Oh yeah.
Because the concepts and the ideas that they're putting across of different fractured parts of society clashing over beliefs and stuff, all these things, they're intuitive, and you don't need to be a massive Star Wars fan to fully appreciate the conflict that's going on here,
Oh, definitely.
So it's just fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why would Din know? I mean, we've seen from season 1 whenever he's talking about the village, and he's like, there's nothing stopping me from taking this mask off, I just can't ever put it back on again. And he wouldn't know about other Mandalorians that aren't Death Watch, because if he did, they wouldn't be considered Mandalorians. So that makes complete sense, and it means that we start off with this very myopic kind of narrow view, and then so the whole yes.
Settle down.
More clips. More.
If one is to understand the great mystery, one must study all its aspects, not just the dogmatic narrow view of
The way.
If you wish to become a complete and wise leader, you must embrace a larger view.
The way.
So as you were saying, anyone who kind of just jumps on now can expand their horizons with this. They're discovering all this extra galaxy. Again, the galaxy feels so huge, and you're exploring it with this guy who's also exploring it with you. His horizons are being broadened as it goes along. So they go on. Bo-Katan promises to bring him to some Jedi if he helps her take a few crates from an Imperial ship. He's like, yep, no worries. So they bust their way through this ship. Bo-Katan, awesome, badass, looks great. The style of everything looked fantastic.
I love the way that the 3 Mandalorians they were so coordinated, and Din was like clearly playing catch up the whole time. As in, they would be like 3, 2, 1, go, and they'd all step out in unison, decimate the stormtroopers in front of them, and Din would be like kind of stumbling along behind them. Not that it was bad, it was just like trying to keep up with their pace of things, whereas they were just obviously such a well-oiled team, like a squad working together, and I loved that contrast. It was a nice wee detail.
So they burst their way through the ship, they get to the end, and it's essentially, this has all been about getting back the Darksaber to try and reunite all the clans of Mandalore, as we've seen in Rebels.
As they were saying, they did want the weapons and the ship because they need to arm their troops. But yes, as well as that, the other objective is to get back the Darksaber. And we get our first appearance of the bad guy who's in every show now, who's the universal bad guy.
Oh, he's so good though.
Yeah, fantastic. No wonder it was just like a minute-long clip of him, because he's that freaking busy. That's all the time they could get.
Yeah. Oh, so good. But that was the thing as well, and that's from the last episode, just to kind of reiterate. The last episode, the rebels are like, right, okay, we're going to arrest this guy. Actually, you know what? He's really helped us. Let's let him go. He's probably better off doing more good out than he is if we take him in, and we're going to end up, either we're going to die or he's going to die. He's a Mandalorian. There's a logical think through, whereas this guy is like, right, okay, they're going to get some weapons, so we don't want them to get weapons. Like, you know exactly what to do. And he kills his whole crew and then is about to fly his ship into the sea rather than have it being taken. It's like the red lightsaber versus the blue lightsaber. We know now who the bad guy is and who the good guy is, But then again, we also have this, well, I mean, with the good guy and the bad guy, Bo-Katan starts to interrogate the captain, and he bites his tooth and commits suicide. Cue scene.
Nazi!
But yeah, so just to further illustrate that comparison between the Imperialists and the Death Watch, who we've kind of always known as bad guys from Clone Wars and Rebels, now we're seeing them against Bo-Katan's Mandalorians, and they're not a lot, but they appear to be less honorable. Because in the middle of this whole thing, like, Mando turns around and he's like,
this wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah, this wasn't part of the deal. She's like, I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it any further.
Well, she doesn't actually say that, but we were all thinking it.
And like, that's kind of, I mean, you can show the kind of ups and downs, and I think that's going to be the struggle for Din. Maybe not the end of this season, maybe in future seasons, but that kind of thing of, where do I stand, actually? Because I reckon that's the route for Pedro Pascal to show his face. But where do we go? Do we stick with the Watch? Because maybe he discovers a bit of the Watch's past. It'd be interesting to see. Well, that's about all we got for this week. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter, or hang out in Reddit.
We have all the social medias
All
now.
the medias that are social.
Yeah. I feel dirty inside.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait a minute. You kinda looks like a baby. Come here, I'm gonna eat you! I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain! Get in my belly! Come on! You're lucky, wee man! Ah!